partners. This word has a very wide scope. Specifically with businesses, partners can come in several forms. Your co-founder or the director, your co-director can be a partner and is a partner. In fact, your franchise holders, in case if you have a franchise, then all the owners who own that franchise become your partners. If you have a stockist or a distributor, then those guys are also to be considered as partners. And if you're an MSME, a small and medium sized company, chances are you are making some key recruitments or inducting some key professionals in your company for the first time. You may be calling that person a general manager or even a CEO. Those guys are also to be taken as partners. Partner is basically a person who significantly adds value to your organization and is not somebody who is only responsible to do actions. He is actually responsible for producing outcomes, and for that he has the skin in the game. So if the outcomes are not matched, he will get severely impacted, and the word is skin in the game. So in this video we are going to be talking about how should you go about selecting a partner, where do you find these partners, and there are some important things that you should always keep in mind. So without any further ado, let's jump into point number one. Point number one is how to go about selecting a partner. So first things that we need to do is draw up parameters that are attributes that your partner must have. Now you can have 10 parameters, 12 parameters, as many as you want, but these parameters fall into the following three categories. The first category is called vision, which means that if you are looking to establish your business, let's say you're looking for a franchise and you're looking to establish your business in one state of your country. I'm in India, so I'm going to talk about, let's say, Maharashtra. That's one state, and I want to be the best provider in Maharashtra and I'm recruiting a franchise. I need to have a franchise whose vision is also to make sure that the best service or consulting service is provided in that state where he belongs. If his vision is smaller than that or larger than that, chances are we will end up into a conflict at a later stage. When he has a smaller vision, he may get satisfied doing things within his territory, immediate territory, and he may not work towards going beyond his immediate territory. So that means my vision of being the best service provider in Maharashtra will never get realized. In case if he has a larger vision, chances are he will do Maharashtra and then start mingling into other territories where I already have franchisees, and that kind of can also create conflict. He can become too powerful, and if I don't allow him, he can go to my competitor, and that will result into clashes. So it's very important that the vision of what you are doing and what your partners want to do matches. And if that match happens, then you go to the next parameter or the next section of the parameter. The next section is called capability. Now, to meet that vision, it's important that the person has the capability to do that. If I am recruiting a franchise or I am recruiting a CEO for the first time in my organization, or recruiting a GM in my organization, or even a co-founder, let's say IT co-founder, then I need to make sure that the person has the capability, the skills to execute the vision that both of us have signed up into. If I'm looking at the country level or the Maharashtra level, the state level, and I want to do so many projects, I'm looking at an X number of projects. Now, does that person have the capability, if he's an IT guy, to actually manage those many number of projects? If the answer to that is no, then I may not have him as a partner, because I will fall short of his capabilities, and therefore there will be inefficiencies introduced in there. The third section is called capacity. Now, this section of capacity means that am I able to put my resources in terms of time, money, and anything else to get the job done. I may be a superbly capable person to do the franchise of my organization or to become a CEO of my organization, but I have some constraints in terms of my capacity. I can only give 2 hours because I have an ailing parent and I need to go there and help my ailing parent. Or I have an existing small business which has nothing to do with consulting, so it's not competing, but I have a business that will ask for its own time, and this is another side business that I'm trying to do. So that means my 100% priority is not to this business. If that's the case, then again the partnership would not last very long. So to summarize it all, you should have with your partner the same vision, or the vision that matches perfectly. No smaller vision for your partner or bigger than your vision for your partner, that won't work. Second, it's important to evaluate the capability of your partner to execute the vision that you've agreed upon, and you must check the capability by maybe asking for references or what is it that he's currently doing. And the third thing is capacity. If you're expecting your partner to invest money, invest time, then does he have that much time and money to actually invest into what you are trying to do? And if that's not the case, then it's not going to be a successful partnership. So with these three sections, you can create as many parameters that you can, that you wish to create, and objectively evaluate any partner prospect, anybody that you're trying to recruit as a CEO, as a GM, as a franchise, or as a distributor or stockist. These are the three sections which you must absolutely evaluate. Point number two is, where do you find these partners? So if you've done your first section right, which is how to find a partner, if you've created those parameters, you would have known by now what is the right profile of the partner. What is it that he is currently doing? So one way of finding the partner is, if you know that, okay, I want stockist of this kind, then this kind of stockist should be a stockist of this particular product. When you know that, you can go Google up and see, okay, in that product line, in that specific industry, which is the top five companies, and who are the distributors for those top five companies. Once you make a list of that, then the second thing that you do is try and find them on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a source where it's very easy for you to find people. You could also go to Trade India, you could also go to India Mart and find these people up, call them up, set up an appointment and say, hey, you know what, would you like to do this with me? That's one way of doing it. The second way of doing it, in case if you're looking at franchising, then you should go in companies like Franchise India or franchise.com, and you should go and participate in exhibitions that happen where investors who are looking to invest into a franchise come in. You can go there and get your leads and then talk to each one of them and figure out who is the right kind of person. The third way of doing it is called business networking. There are several organizations that allow you to go about networking with people, and in that networking you are going to find people who are very good at sales. You can get sales consultant and get him on board and say, hey, you know what, you are the director of sales for me. You can get somebody who's a small IT company, buy that company out or get that promoter on and say, hey, you know what, you are the CTO of my company. As long as the person fits the profile and the vision is something that matches for both of you, and he has the capacity to go about stretching his way to create what you are intending to create. So these are the ways in which you could go about finding partners in your area or in whatever region that you want to do business in. Point number three, things that you should keep in mind, and you should never do it in any other way. Number one, you should form a company. Now, whenever you recruit a partner, it's important, specifically when you recruit a co-founder or something like that, a co-founder or a co-director, it's extremely important that you form a company. And why that? Because when you form a company, then the company has its own entity, and then you can give stakes to that person. If you're not a company, if you're not a private limited LLP, etc., then you cannot give stakes because there are no stakes. As a proprietor, there is no share. There is no share on the paper. And then you talking about stakes and he agreeing only shows that both of you are not aware of what you're talking. And there is always a way in which both of you can cheat each other for reasons that you would justify to yourself. So always form a company. If you're looking to franchise out, setting up a company can help you attract the right kind of franchisee owners, or people who want to invest into your franchise. You will get the right kinds. It builds a reputation for which people would want to work. If you're looking at introducing a CEO or a CXO, then there are two kind of things that one does. One is the person recruits a CEO who has been a CEO in the past, and the second is a person ends up recruiting a so-called senior person in the corporate and call him a CEO. Now, the second thing is something that we must absolutely not do, because your intention is to recruit a CEO, so get a CEO. You can't call a cookie a cake, right? A cake is a cake, a cookie is a cookie. So when you want to attract, when you want to get a right CEO, then you got to make sure that you are a company. The CEO, the right kind of CEOs will come. Understand this: when you throw peanuts, monkeys will come. And peanuts in this case is being a proprietary firm. Become a company and the right kind of people will come to you. The second thing that you must do is design the risk and reward. Now, what I mean by this, risk is called investment. Like for example, a franchisee would put money into it or would put people into it. Some amount of risk has to be there, and reward means the compensation, which is the stakes that you give him. Now, why am I saying design this is because a lot of times I see people getting into partnerships or wanting to get into partnership by avoiding risk and avoiding rewards. It's like, how can I be safe and still juice out the best from this person? nothing like that ever lasts. So if you really want the absolute meat of that person, you really want that person to give the ownership, then don't hesitate to give the best also. But obviously when you give the best, you make sure that you tie in that person with a investment of some kind, right? Investment in terms of money. If the person has not invested into your organization, chances are he may say, okay, I will try and do it. If it happens, great. If it does not happen, the least that is going to happen is I'm not going to pay my commission, right? And that's all right, because anyways I'm doing nothing. Now that kind of relationship is not going to work. So you got to have the person's skin in the game, specifically when you're recruiting people as co-founders or people who have stakes in the company. Giving stakes in the company means that you are making that person a partner in the company, which means that even if the company goes in losses, he's supposed to bear a portion of that loss also. And that is how you get the skin in the game. So design your risk, design his risks, and design your reward and design his reward in proportion to what you're trying to get, how much ownership you want him to take, and how much results he should get, how much compensation he should get after he gets the result. The third thing, very, very important, very basic, but very, very important point, is to listen and support. A lot of time people end up recruiting the right kind of people, but then they don't end up listening to him. They give them their version and they give it so strongly that no new ideas can penetrate through. I have seen people recruiting CEOs and then not allowing the CEOs to do anything new and telling the CEO, this won't work because I have done XYZ and it did not work last time. Well, it did not work because you did it. Chances are that this person knows the art of getting things done for what you want. So listen to him, listen to the new ideas. That's the reason why you've got him. And then support him when he fails. Don't say, hey, listen, see, I told you, right? It's not about being righteous. It's about getting to the goal for which he even got recruited. So listen and support. And the fourth thing, this is the most important point in the entire video. Whenever you recruit a partner, you are creating some kind of dependency. Whenever you recruit a franchise, you are creating dependency for making sure that that particular area is served well, and the dependency is on that person. When you're recruiting a distributor, you are making sure that the distribution of that area is well. When you're recruiting a CEO, CTO, or a senior guy in your company to take care of your business, you're again depending on that person. It's okay to be dependent on that person for a short while, but it's extremely important that you change this dependency into creating systems and processes. Now, why this? Because there are two times when the partnership kind of goes bad if it's not on strong foundation. One, when the company does extremely well, the partners end up saying, oh, you know what, I was the reason behind it, and that success is not shared between the partners. That's when things go bad. Or when the company becomes kind of does a lot of losses and goes down the rail, that's when partners say it was him who got the company to where it is today, and that's when partnership fails. In both the scenarios, should you end up disconnecting from each other, it's important that you have processes so that company as a whole doesn't get derailed. If the person disconnects, you still can use the same systems and processes to get things underway using the people that have been deployed to do that, minus the leader. Now, I hope this video helps you get a partner, get the right kind of people, and not make mistakes in that partnership. Have long, lengthy partnerships, fruitful partnerships. If you've got any benefit from this video, hit a big fat thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to this channel, go hit the subscribe button and don't forget the bell icon. That way you will be notified every time I put a video like this. If you have questions on this topic or any other topic, mention it in the comment box and I'll be very, very happy to answer those questions in the form of a video. Until we meet next time, make partners, propel your company to the next level, and keep coming to this channel. Give us more insights and we'll be more than happy to help you. So until we meet next time, all you fine people, keep propelling.